All right, guys, this is where I get super excited. This is where we formulate the offer. Now, we've gone through several different things. If you really think about the process of the Freedom Achiever method and how we're creating this and how we're getting you into massive sales and massive production and being able to develop the relationships that are necessary, if you really, really think about this, we've gone from self-development, which is the main piece. This is the foundation. You are the foundation. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else, right? That's number one. Now, we went from that to understanding our client base, to understanding our avatar, to understanding the people that we're going to communicate with, right? And we started listing them out. We started putting it together. We started saying, these are the people I'm going to remind all the time. These are the people I'm going to get referrals from. These are the people I'm going to communicate with. These are the people that are going to love me and cheerlead for me. We started really digging into that at a high level. And if you did that part really, really well, you should already be receiving leads from it. If you have not done that part very, very well, then you have left some things out. And so the rest of this process starts to crumble if you can't do that part. Now, there are other ways to get leads, and there are other ways that you can attain business, and there are other ways that you can make this happen, right? And still use these methods, by the way, still use the way we meet with people, still use the meeting understanding, still use the offer that we're going to go over now, still use the future stuff that we're going to talk about, like conversion, right? You could really, really dig into that at a high level and still utilize everything that you're going to learn here for your business. However, the real foundation work is in that second video, that in phase one, video two, where we started really to build the foundation. This is like going to a building and building the foundation, and all those people are pieces of gravel and concrete and rebar and everything else. They're the ones who are going to hold your business up, right? Of course, it's your responsibility to hold your business up and do big things, but you cannot run a strong business without people in many different ways, by the way, people in staff and leverage, people in business partners, people in collaborators, people in referral-based business, people in clients, people in consumers, right? We can't operate a business without people. You open a store in a town with zero, you're going to get zero sales, right? Does that make sense to you guys? I really hope it does. Okay. And then we went into we went from understanding all of those people and all of those pieces to develop a foundation. And then we went into understanding how to meet with them, how to get in front of them, how to calculatively have a communicative conversation with them, how to build out that meeting, how to truly understand what the next steps are. And if you're already doing this, by the way, huge win for you, right? Because you should already begin to start selling whatever it is that you sell at a high level, right? And so now we start to talk about the offer. And in the previous videos, you saw that we talked about that first 10%. Then we talked about the 80%, where it's the meat and potatoes of the conversation, the couching, where you let somebody vent to you, and then you present your offer. Now, your offer has to be an undeniable offer. It has to be an offer, like Alex Hormozi says, make it so good that they'd be stupid to say no. And make it so good that they'd be stupid to ask for discounts. And make it so good that they'll pay you whatever you want. Make it so good that the value is evident in everything that you're bringing to the table. Okay? So now, speaking of Alex Hormozi, I'm going to use one of his diagrams today so you can get a good idea of what that looks like. And then again, I'm going to explain again and probably explain in every video. I have 4 screens here with all kinds of different notes and instruction and things that I'm going to bring to the table during this recording. And I'm going to be looking around. Okay, so bear with me. And I'm going to be writing on this board a whole lot. So you'll be the back of my head a whole lot. Okay. All right. So number one, let's talk about the offer. If you have a compelling offer, it is very hard to be poor. Let me write this down, right? If you have a compelling offer, then poor doesn't exist. Why do you think that's true, right? Think about this for a moment. If you have a very compelling offer, a well-defined offer, an offer for somebody to purchase something from you that they do need, that they do want, and you're so good at presenting it that they want to work with you and they give you money for this product or service, then you can't be poor, right? You're going to be rich, you're going to be wealthy, or at least you're going to be wherever it is that you want to be, right? I'm a big advocate of that. Look, for me, I want to be wealthy, I want to be stupid, I want planes, I want all kinds of shit, right? That doesn't have to be you, by the way. You don't have to want planes and yachts and everything else. You could just be absolutely happy with a certain amount of money. You can make 6 figures, you can make 150 grand, and that's your life. Or maybe you're here because you're making some money and you want to make an extra 100 grand, or you want to make an extra 200 grand, and you're going to utilize this stuff and you're going to double down on it so that you can put an extra 100 grand in the bank account so you can change your family's life, right? And so in order to do that, you've got to have a tremendous offer. Your offer has to be strong. It has to be good. It has to be presentable. You with me? I hope so. Okay. Now, you know, we pre-record this stuff, and I love interaction, which is why when we do the group coaching, I'm always asking you guys questions and letting you talk and asking you to put things in the chat box, because I love the interaction. For me to talk to myself for the next however long this video takes, it's insane. But I promise you, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be dynamic, and I'm just gonna pretend you're here with me so I can have that energy, right? All right. So, what is your offer? That is your biggest piece. Now, Dave, I sell houses, so my offer is I sell houses. Wrong. Dave, my offer is I sell titles, so you know I go to realtors and my offer is title work. Wrong. You know, hey Dave, I sell insurance, right? So my offer is, you know, I sell insurance to homeowners or, you know, people. Wrong. Like all of that stuff is wrong. What is your offer? And that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay. Yes. In the big scheme of things, in the, you know, when we dial it down to what it really is, yes, I understand that's truly your offer. And that's what you sell, right? Like, you know, I have this bottle of water, right? And it's the only bottle of water in this room right now. And I try to sell this bottle of water. I can't say, hey, I sell water. Like that's not the thing. No. What do I really sell? Well, if the customer that walks in here is not thirsty, then this bottle of water is irrelevant. But if the customer that walks in here is thirsty as hell, my question is, can I quench your thirst? Can I take care of you? Can I fulfill that need? You have a problem, I have a solution. Here's my value. This is where we come in strong, right? And so you're going to be thinking about what your true offer is and what you do in this business that makes it you, or makes it different, or you different, right? And do people say no to your offer? Like right now, do you get no's? And if you do, then your offer is not strong enough. Now, I'm not trying to say that you're going to meet everybody and everybody's going to say yes. What I am trying to say is that when you formulate a strong offer, your no's will start to dissipate at a very big pace. Okay. Again, I don't care how much competition there is out there, by the way, right? Like I'm a real estate business coach. There is massive competition in my industry. If you're a realtor, there's massive competition in your industry. If you're in title, if you're insurance, if you're a home builder, if you are a inspector, if you are a transaction coordinator, if you are whatever it is that you are in this particular industry of ours, crazy, right? You're losing it, okay? People will say no to you, and you've got to have a great offer because you have huge competition, and you don't want these no's. As a matter of fact, we're going to put an X next to these no's, and we're going to erase this check mark because that's nasty. We want more yeses. Yes, I want to work with you. Yes. This is what it sounds like. This is like when somebody says, sure, I'll work with you, that those words should fly through the air, and in your ear, they should say, yes, I'd like to give you my money. Right? Right? So Grant Cardone, what does he say? He says, who's got my money? Who's got my money? Who's got my money? He starts looking at the list of people. Who's got my money? Who wants something? Who wants to trade this for that? I need money. Who's got my money, right? And that's the mentality that you guys need to have moving forward, because we're not in this to lose. We're in this to win. And if you're taking this academy, if you're taking this method, if you're in the Freedom Achiever method, knocking this out, dude, you're here because you want to make money. right? You're here because you want to make money. So first thing I'm going to talk about, because I feel like this is one of the most important pieces, is building that offer. And when we're talking about building that offer, I want to dig right into pricing. Okay. So I'm going to give you some key points. First of all, decreasing your price, I'm going to read this to you. This is my notes. Decreasing your price makes you less valuable and attracts the worst clients ever. Okay. So I want you to hear that out real loud, right? Decreasing the price makes you less valuable and attracts the worst clients, the ones that will not be happy until your service is free. Now, I want you to think about that every time somebody asks you for one of these. Oh, but it's for my friend. Can I get a discount? Oh, but it's this. Can I get a discount? Oh, but I send you some of my business. Can I get a discount? Oh, but if you want my business, I need you to pay for this. That's a discount, right? No, we ain't partners. Let's work together. You are not in the world to give discounts. Here's the problem in a lot of these industries, right? If you're in real estate, you want to charge 6% to a seller, right? Or 3% to a buyer. Okay. But because there's a bus bench right next to their home that says, we'll list your house for 0.9%, right? Then you feel like you need to take this down to 4 or 5%. And people will ask you for that discount. They will ask you for that discount. You know why they'll ask you for that discount? Because there's a ton of discount people out there, right? If you're in title, they're going to ask you for discounts on the title fee. They're going to ask you for discounts on, or not even, they'll ask you for money to even get business before they send you business. It's almost like saying, hey, listen, I don't have business to send you, but if you give me money, I will get business and then we can do business together. That shit does not make sense to me. Okay. It just doesn't play game. All right. So let's move away from the discount. What happens when you discount people? You become, or you start lowering your price, it becomes a race to the bottom. Okay. When you're in a race to the bottom, at some point, you either get out of the business, you lose your business, you make no profit, or your product is free. And that's it. It becomes a massive race to the bottom. Now, when you're a massive race to the bottom, you become the cheapest, and you never want to become the cheapest. Some of you are sitting right here with me right now, and you've got a fancy car outside, or you got a fancy pair of shoes in the garage. In the closet, right? Or you get a fancy shirt or fancy pair of pants or fancy skirt, right? Or you got an expensive ass purse or wallet or belt or hat, whatever it is. And you're proud of that purchase. You're proud because A, you can afford it. B, you expect for the amount of money that you paid for it, you expect there to be value and quality in that product. So if you're the cheapest one on the block, then the value and quality of your product decreases because you're at the race to the bottom. Value consistently overpowers price each and every time. So we will write this down again because we've talked about this at a high level and we're going to say it again, right? People have problems. You have a solution. There's value and they'll pay you whatever you want for that value. That's the quadrant, man. That's the quadrant, right? They have a problem. You have a solution. You can provide the best offer possible. Then you have provided value. If you provide tremendous value, then they will pay you whatever it is that you want for that value. And then here's the best part. They will refer you to other people who will have a problem, who will then be provided with a solution that has tremendous value. Then that value will come down to more money. And it becomes a vicious cycle, by the way. Like, who here, think about this for a minute. I know I can't see you, but raise your hand, raise both hands up in the sky if you feel like you would want to provide value to earn a ton of money, right? And then that money turn into a referral-based system that will then give you more problems you must solve to provide more value to make more money. And imagine if that vicious cycle happens so consistently that it becomes an uprise, right? An uprise. So you make money here, and then you make money at this level, and then you make money at this level. Do you know why? Because the more the cycle happens, the more people you're working with, right? Here I got 1 referral. Here I got 15 referrals. Here I got 30 referrals. And I'm making more and more and more money. Put both in hands in the air if you want to do that, man. That's it right there. Put both hands in the air if you want to do this. That's the money right there. That's the formula, right? That's the formula. And when you're working with people, they want to be in a position and they're currently here. Okay? So we're going to write this down. They want to be here. This is like the win, and they're currently here. They're not happy here. And that's when they bring you the problem. When you provide the solution, right? When you provide that solution, you build a bridge from where they are to where they desire to be. And desire is a big thing, right? They want to close more deals. They want to do more business. They want to move from their house. They want to buy a new house. They have desires to be better, to be stronger, to be faster. So do you. You have desires. You came to this coaching program here, and you're expecting me to build a bridge for you so that you can be here. It's the same exact thing. Otherwise, you would not have paid for this program. And that's where you're at. And these are all the pieces that you think about when you're building this offer, right? Okay. So you want to be the one that can charge what you charge and get people to say yes. That's 100%. We talked about this at a ridiculous level. Okay. You want to be that one. All right. So again, value overpowers. You should write this down. As a matter of fact, you're listening to this right now. Okay. I want you to write this down. I'm going to give you a second while I drink water. Write this down. Value overpowers price each and every time. Value overpowers price each and every time. If you didn't hear me that time, hit rewind. All right. Now let's create this offer strategy. Okay. So here's our offer strategy. All right. Now we're going to get deep into this. We're going to have a lot of fun with this, ladies and gentlemen. This is called the value equation framework. Okay. Value equation framework. So value equation framework. All right. Now with value equation framework, we're enhancing perceived value. So how do we add services and products without significant cost, right? So what other things can I offer that will give me more value that I can add to the program, to the product, to the service without significant cost? For instance, everyone that came into this program got free access to the Freedom Achiever Academy, 300 videos, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? We know that, okay? And you're a part of a bigger community now, okay? That being said, and that being known, okay, how do you add now services and products without significant cost, okay? And then how do you create the importance of understanding customer needs deeply? Now, this is a big piece. Look, when you meet somebody, it's easy to understand the needs. But when you understand an industry, okay, then you understand needs at a higher level. And you can formulate a basic understanding of what those needs are and have a great understanding of them, right? So you can formulate a great understanding of what those needs are, or a basic understanding, so that you can create a value equation around it so that you can provide the value that you're bringing to the table, right? Like as you're building out this offer and creating your value, understanding basic needs. Let's do an example, right? I'm a car salesman. I'm standing in a car lot, right? The basic need that I understand is that if somebody walks or drives into this car lot, there's a possibility that they might want to buy a car. Can we agree with that? It is similar to someone registering on your website, looking at property. There is a possibility that they might be looking to purchase a home. Somebody puts a for sale by owner sign outside of their house. There is a possibility they might be trying to sell their house. And if you understand those basic needs, then you go. Now you get into the greater needs, the deeper needs. So home seller, sign outside. Do they have tremendous online access? Do they have MLS access? Do they have all these other things that you could bring to the table that you can add to your value equation framework? But it gets deeper than that. Is it the marketing? Are you providing tremendous marketing? Do you have marketing packages? Do you have printed packages? Do you have things of that nature that you're going to bring to the table that people can go, yeah, this is worth it, right? The value that you're bringing to the table is 100% worth it. Why don't you tell me that I spelled this wrong? Okay. The value that you're bringing to the table, is it worth it? And then what you have to next understand is risk reversal, right? So let's go into risk reversal. Risk reversal means minimizing customer risk. Is your product and is your value a risky product? If it is a risky product, how do you minimize risk? And again, even if it's not a very risky product, even if you truly believe in your product, how can you minimize the risk behind it? So examples of guarantees of impact are conversion rates. Like when you see something online that says, hey, listen, if you buy this, you get 30 days with it. If you don't like it, you can return it and it'll be free. That's a guarantee. What sort of guarantees, what sort of minimizing risk can you offer in your position to allow people to feel like it's less of a risk to get into this business with you, whatever that business is, real estate, title, insurance, etc., right? And then discussing the balance of risk between business and customer, okay? Discussing that balance between the risk of the business and the customer, okay? I hate that I look away all the time, but I've got like a tremendous amount of notes and I'm like digging into them, okay? All right, so after risk reversal, okay, we have price anchoring, which we've talked about quick, or I'm sorry, not quick, but a lot. All right, so price anchoring, basic techniques for effective pricing and anchoring on your price, okay? And case studies demonstrating successful price anchoring. So what does that mean? That means that you are officially, right? You are officially anchoring your price, anchoring your price by creating a psychological promotion, right? A strategy where a product or a service at a higher price is set against your lower price item. Now, this is very different than utilizing the idea of race to the bottom. This is how much value, right? I am offering you $10,000 worth of value and information for the price of $19.99. That is price anchoring. That is giving people a psychological presentation of what the financial value of everything you bring to the table is and what they're actually getting it for, right? And so for real estate agents that provide a ton of marketing and a ton of exposure, it's simply saying things along the lines of, you know, listen, this is what I charge you, but for selling your house. But before I sell your house, these are the things I'm going to do. I'm going to spend an average of this much money in marketing your home. And whether it sells or not, I'm spending this. This is it right here. I can't wait for you to pay me to spend this. I'm going to spend this now. And this stuff's going to happen behind the scenes. And I'm going to give you reports consistently of everything that's happening and everything that we're doing, and everything that we're bringing to the table. That being said, right, my price with you is phenomenal. That price anchoring is huge. It's a huge piece, right? All right, so let's talk about steps to crafting your offer. Okay, so let's get into crafting. All right. So number one to crafting your offer, identifying a target audience. Now, for the sake of the Freedom Achiever method, for the idea of the Freedom Achiever method, the target audience was in our phone, in our email. It was people we know, associated people, business people, power our Power 8, right? It was, sphere of influence. Like those were the people that we identified as an audience. However, if you want to take this bigger and you're thinking about the actual audience, it could be a market location. It could be an area. It could be a type of person. Think about that avatar piece again, right? Think about when we talked about avatars, okay? Think about what an avatar really is and how you break an avatar down, and that becomes your target audience. And by the way, once you figure this out at a high level, you get to use it in so many different ways. Imagine having this so highly identified that you can just push it into Facebook, right? Into meta ads and market to these folks consistently, because they're the same people that you're calling, that you're emailing, that you're in communication with, that you're texting, you're sending video texts to. They're those same people, and they see you so much. And then all of a sudden they're getting ads with your face on it and you talking and doing this and doing that and showing houses or selling insurance, whatever it is that you do, right? Then there's building the stack. So building the value stack. All right, now building the value stack is simple. Create a list of things that you can offer with your offer. So these are like bonuses, right? For instance, if you're entitled, when somebody closes at your office, what do? What are the bonuses? What are the extras? Okay, what are the additional pieces? What are the features to working with you? If you're a real estate professional, what are some of the bonuses that they're going to get? What are some of the extras that you do? What are the features that they will receive from working with you that make you different, that help you stand out in the long run, that help you really present yourself separate from everybody else? What are those things, right? That's a value stack, because what you're doing is you're saying, this is what I have. This is my offer. But if you choose to do this, you're also going to get this, 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 and this. And if you work with me, it's like a bundle deal for one price. That's a value stack. By the way, here's the crazy part. This method right here, everything we're talking about, like identifying a target audience, building the value stack, you can use this for whatever you want. I just happen to coach real estate professionals. I just happen to coach this industry. But if you decide to open a restaurant, do this. If you decide to sell cars, do this. If you decide to open up a plumbing company, do this. Right? This works no matter what business you're in, and you could dominate with this. Okay? All right. Step 3, communicating the offer clearly. That means you need to know your offer at a super high level. So communicating the offer clearly, okay? How to articulate offer benefits, features effectively, okay? Step number 4, testing and refining your offer. All right, so this is a big piece. Because some of you might be so proud of what you do that you might think there's 2 or 3 different things that really stand out, and that's your main offer. That's your value proposition. So test them out. Test it one with one person, one with another person, one with another person, right? Do it that way, okay? So that way you could see the different things, or you can see which one of those different things are really bringing fire to the table, right? Which one of those are converting the most people? And then the ones that are converting the most people, you do more of. Does that make sense to you guys? I hope it does, right? And really put some thought in your product and service and how it will change somebody's life, because that's what, look, changing lives and making people feel great. And you know, I like the word feel. Right? Changing lives and making people feel great help you bring value. It's so huge, man. You don't underestimate this. Don't underestimate this. Okay. Now, there's a couple things I want to do real quick before we do this. I'm going to bring it this way a little bit. because we're going to talk about the offer. I want you to think about your offer and what you really bring to the table. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to take a document, take a form, take a paper, okay? Let me bring, this is a paper, okay? And I want you to write down everything you bring to the table. Every positive thing you bring to the table, okay? So let's say you're a real estate agent, okay? You do photos, professional photos with a pro. You do video with a pro. You do emails. You have email campaigns. You have a network. You know, you have door hangers and etc. Right? And then what I want you to do is come over here and I want you to line out things that every single other person does. That you know every single other person does. Okay. And then whatever's left over, well, those are the things that really make you stand out. This is pretty cool if you do this exercise. Like if you think about it, right? All the things that your company offers, guaranteed there's a competitor that offers something similar or the same, right? But what is it about you that you do different? Like maybe everybody does professional photography, but your photographer happens to win awards all the time for their photos, right? There's certain things that you need to really dissect and think about to bring what your true offer is to the table. Because if I go and I spill and I vomit this all over people, right? It's not going to work. If you go to somebody with this big presentation of all the amazing things you do, blah, 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 this is me, check me out, right? They don't give a shit. They don't care, all right? What they do care about is the special things that make you stand out. Because believe it or not, humans have Google today and they know what a real estate agent or what an insurance company or everybody else does, right? And so what they're trying to find out is what really makes you stand out. What really sets you apart from everybody else? What do you bring to the table? And then that becomes the primary piece of your offer. Let me give you a perfect example. I am a partner at a title company. That title company happens to do everything every other title company does, except they have two things that really make them stand out. And there's other things, but these two things, they happen to work really well. Number one, they do a cake at every closing. And it has a picture of the house on it for the buyers. Number two, they have an app that not only has the ability for you to create quotes on the spot and share it with your clients, but they also have all the marketing material behind it as a real estate agent you can use to promote your business. Imagine that, right? These two things become the value add. And because they become the value add, they become the primary offer. Right? Do you have possibilities to create partnerships? And nobody else does that. That's your value add, right? What is it that you bring to the table that is different than everybody else that creates your value add that then therefore, right, is your primary offer? When you're presenting your offer, remember when we were talking about the meeting, we talked about the last 10%. You can't spend a bunch of time pitching yourself. This is your pitch. This is your offer, right? Hey, by the way, right? So if I'm this title company, right? I go, hey, by the way, just FYI, I'm still in the title business. And you know what? We started doing something really cool. We've got this great app that our clients are using now where they can send quotes on the spot and put out marketing material in a matter of seconds. Can I share that link with you so you download that app? Absolutely. Cool, man. Is there anything I can do for you on the title side of the business? And then you just shut up and let them answer. Right? You just shut up and let them answer, right? Hey, listen, I'm a real estate agent, right? Okay. I'm at a listing appointment. You know, there's a lot of things that we do great. There's a lot of things that we do similar to other agents, but you know what really makes us stand out? That we do all our homes, no matter the price, we do all our homes with a photographer who is an award recognized, like like national or state photographer. He's incredible. He's recognized by the industry. He's recognized by everybody. And we pay the big bucks for this guy because when he comes in and he takes your professional photos and your professional video, we're going to be able to market that at such a high level. And he makes it in such a way that people want to be attracted to it. When people are attracted to that video, we get more views. When we get more views, do you know what that means, Mr. and Mrs. Seller? More eyes on your home. Is that something that you feel would be beneficial in the sale of your home? And then shut up and let them answer. And let them ask you questions. Let them tell you what the problem is. Let them tell you what they would love to see. Because, you know, I've sat in meetings and you know what the number one thing a seller tells me about their previous agent? Lack of communication. And as soon as they spill that out, right? Because I like to ask the question when I'm sitting at a listing appointment or with a buyer consultation, have you ever worked with a real estate agent before? Yes, I have. And what did you like and did not like about that real estate agent? Blah, 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 blah. They get into it. 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 Man, it's fantastic. And from the information that they give me, I know what part of my offer makes sense. Hope that makes sense to you guys. Now we're going to bring it back. Let's talk about value. Now I'm a big fan of Alex, so I'm going to use his value chart. Okay, so here we go. Okay, really big. How do we create value? There's a dream outcome. Okay. That dream outcome is multiplied by the perceived likelihood of achievement, right? So perceived likelihood of achievement. By the way, I'll put this formula in the class and notate where I got it from, but I'll put this formula in there, okay? Then equally, right? This is over, right? Or divided by however you want to say it, right? Time delay times, right? Effort and sacrifice. What do you see here? When you look at this, desired income by perceived likelihood of achievement and time delay by effort and sacrifice equals value, right? What do you see here? You see the dreams and the problems. You see the solutions and the problems. You see the not painful, the painful, right? Does that make sense? Because a long time delay in selling my property, that's a problem for me. If you can't get my insurance quote to me right away, that's a problem for me. If I don't know how much money I'm going to net because you can't provide me a net sheet, that's a problem for me, right? That's a time delay. And how much effort and sacrifice am I going to have to make? As your consumer, how much effort and sacrifice am I going to have to make? This is under my dream outcome. Understand, if you understand the dream outcome, you're winning, right? Because that's what your job is, to pull what they are trying to desire to do. And if you understand the dream outcome and that perceived likelihood of achievement, right? So I've got this dream outcome and I have this perceived likelihood of achievement, and I believe that it can be achieved, and you provide me with a time frame and you provide me with understanding of effort and sacrifice, well, then you're bringing me value. And that value is huge. That value is huge, right? So again, when you're thinking about this, right, let's bring this back into perspective, okay? Crafting your offer, do this little exercise right here to craft your offer so that you can understand, this is lack of communication, so that you can understand what your value add and primary offer is, right? Once you understand what your value add and primary offer is, and you follow these different steps, okay, bring it down to how you present that offer through presenting value. Dream outcome times perceived likelihood of achievement over time delay times effort and sacrifice equals value. Take value and offer together, and when you make your best offer to people, they will see value. And when they see value, what do? Ladies and gentlemen, what do? Say it out loud. They make you money. We can use that as a hashtag make money, right? As a matter of fact, I'm gonna write that down. Hashtag make money, because that's why we're here. We want to make some more money. And that's what we're gonna do together. Okay. Now, you only sell because you don't know how to market, and you market because you don't know how to build a product. That is the biggest piece, right? Like, you're out there selling. You're selling. And that's because you don't know how to market. And if you don't know how to market, you don't know how to build a product. This is the build of the product. This is the buildup. This is your offer, right? And what happens when you have a tremendous offer and you're doing things the way that we talk about in this method, and you're meeting with people and having coffee with people, and you're being someone of value to somebody, and you're being a friend, and you're developing relationships, you're not selling. You're building relationships with people so that they can keep you top of mind. You're asking for business in a way that provides a tremendous amount of value. You're presenting your offer in a way that brings a tremendous amount of value. And by offering that tremendous value, people want to give you their money. And they want to tell their friends about you so that their friends could give you their money. And that's what we're going after here. That's what we're building up, okay? That's what we're building up. All right, so goodwill. Let's talk about goodwill real quick, because a lot of people, they forget this part. If you remember when we talked about sitting in those coffee meetings and somebody says, man, I got a leaky roof, right? And you're like, hey, hold on a second, I got you covered, right? How much value are you willing to give away? Listen to me closely. How much value are you willing to give away to lock someone in for a paid product or service, right? So how much are you willing to give away? Like, it's like, you know, when you go to the mall and you're walking through Macy's and they're trying to spray colognes and perfumes on you and they're giving you away little free packets. How much of that are they willing to give away before you break down and say, fine, I'll take this great cologne or this perfume, right? How much value, how much goodwill are you willing to give in order to achieve the goal of actually working this person for a paid situation? That's something that you really need to think about, because you have to find humility in this. Because again, we're not in this building, like meeting with people for lunch and going, hey, sit down. Let me tell you about my product real quick. Here's what it is, man. Listen, this is why you got to work with me. Like, I'm the best. This is what I do. Like, I'm walking on clouds right now. You can't even see them. They're only visible to me. Like, yeah, no. This is about developing relationships, and anything that they need, you need to figure out how you can be of service and how you can bring value to somebody's life. That is value, ladies and gentlemen. That is how you bring value to the table. Value is critical. So how much goodwill or how much value are you willing to give away for free before they are willing to put money in your pocket? That's something you need to think about, and it should be a lot. It should be a lot. Now, something cool that I read in Alex Hormozi's book, this is an unknown quote. It says, he who said money can't buy happiness has not given enough away, right? That falls in the goodwill place, okay? That falls in the goodwill place. You know, there are some people that will go to a cancer ball or gala, or will go to a veteran ball or gala, and they pay that high ticket, but their entire intention of being there is to make money. And so there's no real goodwill in that. Let me bring the word goodwill back. There's no real goodwill in that, right? Like, if you paid money to go to a cancer ball and your entire mission there is to meet with people so that they can buy your shit, you're messing up already. But if you bought that ticket and you entered the silent auction and you volunteered and gave a little extra money and you worked the room and made some friendships and created some relationships and maybe set some meetings up for another time to further that relationship and build that relationship, it'll go a long way. It'll go a long way, more than you ever think. I got parents that I talk to that put their kids in sports because they heard the parents in that team or that league got money and they want to sell them their stuff. They already walked in with the wrong intentions. They already walked in with the worst case scenario. You know what? Money smells money, and they smelled you walking in the door, and they knew you were trying to take it from them. So how much goodwill are you bringing to the table? All right. Now, there are only 5 ways to get clients. Yeah. And I think we've covered this before, but we're going to cover it again. Okay. 5 ways to get clients. Reach out, private reach out. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Private reach out. Okay. Content that attracts. Okay. Content that attracts people. Paid ads. No matter where you're doing them, Google, Bing, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever it is, paid ads, right? Affiliate marketing or affiliates. Okay, and the last one is referrals. All right, these are the only 5 places to get clients. Okay, for all intensive purposes, we are focused on private reach outs for the Freedom Achiever method. But I want you to know these other ones. I want you to know that we will have a session and a conversation about social media and the content that you put out there and making it attractive. And we won't dig into it too much here, but if you're constantly posting shit about your job that's boring as hell, it might be excited to you, by the way. You might be super excited about the stuff you're posting because it's you, it's your job, and you're like, this is what I do, right? But most people don't give a shit about what you do, right? And they're not out there telling you about their nursing gig, and they're not telling you about their doctor visits, and they're not telling, like, dude, they don't care. Right? Like realtors, ambulance chasing attorneys. There's like a few other people, maybe new construction builders, things like that. They're the only ones that really post like just listed, just sold, just built, just closed, right? Like, you know, doctors aren't out there, just had 5 clients today, right? Like it's just not interesting. People don't give a shit, right? And so when people don't give a shit, it's not attractive. And that's why it says content that attracts. You have to bring in content that attracts people to your business and to, more importantly, you. Okay. And we'll get more on this. We'll get deeper on this social media kind of method and the mythology behind it and the thought process behind it. Okay. And then there's paid ads. Like I said, it could be Google, it could be Bing, it could be Facebook, it could be Instagram, it could be LinkedIn, it could be X, it could be whatever you want to do it on. And then affiliates. These are people that work in an industry where they will refer you business for a small cut of the price, right? So in the real estate industry for realtors, these are people in other states that are realtors that could refer you people for 25%, right? And so for those people that are out there that you know that they have a huge market of realtors all over the country that they know that interact with each other, what they have built is an affiliate marketing system with partners, right? And then there's referrals. Now, the reason that we bring these things up is because referrals is the only one on here that creates exponential growth by itself. The rest of these, if you stop calling people, you stop selling. If you stop doing content, you can't attract anybody. If you stop running paid ads, no more leads. If you stop working with affiliates, no more referrals in that sense, right? But referrals from past clients, from friends, from family, from that Power 8, from that sphere of influence, from all the people that we're going to be communicating with, that has exponential growth. Do you know why? Because if you have a really, really, really great referral program put in place, 1 tells 2, 2 tells 4, 4 tells 8, 8 tells 16, and it just continues to grow. And you're making money here, then here, then here, then here, then here. And if right now, if you're in my program, my idea was to add another 100K to your bank account. However, This could mean 100K here. This can mean 250K here. This can mean 500K here. This can mean 750K here. This could mean $1 million, right? Like this growth is crazy. It's exponential. And so out of these pieces, the 4 are predictable because you know that if you put more phone calls out, you'll get more business. If you call less, you'll get less business. If you put more content out that attracts, you'll get more attractive business. If you put less content out, etc. Right? If you put, if your average spend is $1,000 on paid ads a month, and you put 500, then you're gonna get half the business. If you put 2,000, you're gonna get double the business, right? The affiliates, the more people you work with, and the more people that know you, and the more people that refer you, that's the business that you're looking for. However, with the referrals, there's a steady growth up. It's like this. As long as you treat it right, the growth is out of control. And so the goal here, if you really look at this, the goal here is to use, in the FAM method, we're using this, but if you start adding these as well, and you use all of these pieces, the goal is to close them, then use our Freedom Achiever method, right? Our FAM method, to make them your best referral partners. And the only way that you can make them the best referral partners is through relationships. Create relationships with all of them. As I like to say, I want to say as many as you can, but then you're just going to do it with a few, right? Like, no, create relationships with all of them and go super nuts on this. Okay? Go nuts on this, because when you build a tremendous referral program, the referral program is the only one that decreases your cost of acquisition. Now let's talk about that, right? This one, the more exponential it becomes, the less money and the less time you have to spend on here. What? Listen to what I'm saying. If I get 100 clients here, and all those 100 clients I have great relationships with, and over the next 3 years, all those 100 clients refer me an average of 3 people, and I get 300 more clients on top of the original 100 that I had, and now I have 400 past clients, and this goes up like this, do I still need to do paid ads? No. Do I still need a big affiliate business? Sure, because some of my clients are going to leave. They're going to go somewhere else, and I can have a good referral-based system, and it'll come back to me threefold, right? But it's the only one that reduces the cost, because this right here, this affiliate thing, doesn't cost you a whole lot of money, right? It only costs you money when you're a referred business and you got to close it and you pay a little bit. The paid ads, for sure, you don't have to run that anymore if you're doing it well. Content that attracts, paying all these videographers and social media managers and et cetera, to really take it to the next level. You can do a whole lot less of that. You just post pictures of you and, you know, a couple things, and pictures with all these, you know, 400 people that you worked with that are helping you make 100, you know, 100K or $1 million a year, whatever it is that's your goal, because every one of you has a different goal, right? Some of you want to make 100, some of you want to make 1 million, some of you want to make 2 million. None of you are wrong. None of you are wrong. Okay. All right. So when you add money, you are setting up a business to run out of gas, right? So when you continue to pump money into this, at some point, the business is going to run out of gas, right? And so you're setting yourself up for failure. So you got to know that. And that's the win with a referral-based business, okay? That is the absolute win with a referral-based business. Now, let me bring this back, okay? Matter of fact, let me change this real quick. I'm going to make it a little smaller, okay? First 10%, this is your meeting, okay? First 10% is the initial meeting, okay? 80% is the couch time or the meat and potatoes, right? 10% is your offer and your pitch. If you have a great offer, right? If you have a great offer, that means that you found the idea for their problem. So they have their problem, their solution, right? You provided value, and now they paid you, okay? And when they paid you, they created a desire because they like you to build a relationship and referral-based system. Okay. So now let's look at this. I make a call to, this is the craziest system. Like for me, the Freedom Achiever Method system is the craziest system, because if you realize, at no point in time have I told you to spend money anywhere. At no point in time have I said any of this. As a matter of fact, this little system right here works for all these different ones: private reach out, content that attracts, paid ads, affiliates, referrals, everyone that you're going to speak to, every new lead that you get, every new person that's referred to you, every person in your cell phone, every person in your list, every person in your CRM, every single one of them this works with. So watch this. I make a call. We have a meeting. From that meeting, we connect. I understand their problem. I provide them a solution with my offer. So my offer comes at this point throughout this process, right? So learning the problem, right? This is why I put it right under learning the problem. Okay. Then I bring my offer to the table and I provide value. When I provide value, that makes me money. When that makes me money, I get referrals and relationships. When I make referrals and relationships, they send me a new person to call. And then I call that person. We set up a meeting. We have the intros. We have the problem. We find the solutions. We present an offer. We provide value. They give us money. They create relationships and referrals with us. And then it becomes a vicious cycle, and it continues and continues and continues. Welcome to the Freedom Achiever Method. And it's not over, ladies and gentlemen, because we're going to get massively granular with a lot of this stuff. Because in the next videos, we're going to be doing things like identifying the perfect client. We're going to be doing things like closing skill sets. We're going to be doing things like where to get leads from. We're going to be digging deep, deep, deep into some of this stuff. Guys, excuse me. I am absolutely hyper pumped about this. Okay. I've managed to keep a lot of these training videos and a lot of these coaching videos to an hour, whereas sometimes some of these things probably should have been combined and it should have been a 2-hour video, but I don't want to murder you with a 2-hour video. Okay. So my method comes in pieces, and I want you guys to absorb these pieces and really utilize these pieces at a high level, because this, for me, for you, I want you guys to win. I want you guys to show tremendous wins all the time. I want you guys to make those freaking calls, get those meetings, run your meeting in this fashion. Provide the offer based on everything that we talked about. So in your homework, there's going to be an offer formulation worksheet, right? So under this video, there's a link. You're going to download that offer formulation worksheet. Okay. And you're going to be able to create your tremendous offer, whatever that is. Okay. And once you create that tremendous offer, I want you to post that in the school setup. And once it's in there, okay, I'm going to go through it and I'm going to evaluate it with you. And we're going to have one of the coolest meetings we're going to ever have, all together, understanding the offer and bringing it to the table. And it's going to become so abundantly clear to you. But what you need to do in this process is you need to separate yourself from who you are, right? You need to understand what's going to impact the people that you are communicating with, the people that you're talking to, because this is not about impressing yourself. This is about you impressing someone else. And that someone else doesn't do what you do every day. They don't live in your shoes. They don't have the knowledge that you do. And because they don't know what you do and they don't have the knowledge that you do, and they don't really care to know, you have to bring tremendous value. You have to make them go, wow, I want to work with this person. I want to give them my money. I want to, work with them. They will work with my family. They will work with my friends. They will work with my colleagues. I'm going to tell everybody about them. I'm going to post them on Facebook. I'm going to write them a Google review. I'm going to do it up for this. That is what you're working to create. And that is why you must, as you're creating this offer, this is you. Step aside from yourself and take a moment and think to yourself, what makes your clients happy? If you're new to the industry and you have no idea, work as hard as you can on it. Call some experienced agents, ask them. If you're not new to this industry, you know what makes clients happy. You've seen it. You've seen it. You're just not paying enough attention to it, but you've seen it. So what is your value? What is your offer? What are you bringing to the table so that you could create this vicious cycle of income and supporting people? When do you get to the point where you have enough money to create goodwill and give away and make a lot of people happy? When you can take care of your family, when you can support the world around you? When do you get to that point? All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of this session. I expect to see these assignments as soon as possible in the system, because if I don't see them soon, I can't grade them on time. If I can't grade them on time, they won't be graded because we'll get past them. Okay. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the next session. What a wonderful, wonderful session this has been. If you feel a little confused, don't worry, we're going to do this in person. All right. So I'll see you guys soon.